Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. I want to do a video about roadblocks slash excuses. Now, I was watching a video, Heather and Angela, and apparently Heather and Angela's mom liked it, and I told Aaron, and Aaron's like, well, what did we say in it? Well, in the end, we were talking about excuses and etc. And how, we weren't angry, we were just expressing ourselves, and I want to give you a little more insight of the story. You see, me and Aaron know a lot of girls. A lot of girls. Friends. I mean, we know some that I could have dated, but the thing is, they didn't want a transsexual. They're like, oh, it'd be against my Catholic religion. Oh, okay, can we be friends? And then eventually they removed me at Facebook just because they saw me post something about pro-gun. Um, Another one removed me because she wanted some boyfriend that, if he met me, he'd beat the living piss out of me because I'm a freak, a faggot, in his opinion. Well, no, I like girls. She knew this. Another girl I kept asking before I met Angela, that was at a grocery store, she basically turned around one day and told Aaron he's fat and he smells, and she would never date a fat, smelly guy. But she always gave me advice like, oh, you don't want that energy drink. We called her the shopping mom. Well, she disowned him and blocked him. My other friend that's close to her removed me because her boyfriend wanted to beat the crap out of me. Plus the fact that she thought it was unhappy that I got a new TV, jealousy, and she got a new pickup truck that she's financed because she wants to show her boyfriend. And she's buying breast implants. So, you tell me what's the problem. Another person I knew was a single mom. Aaron liked the outdoors. She had two kids. One girl was spoiled. The boy spoiled too now, but the girl is going to college. Guess what? Same thing. Oh, well, you're fat and smelly. No one wants you. I had a few times where every time I made a pass before I met Angela, I had Filipinos that I made passes at. They were all scammers. Again, that's my excuse why I won't deal with them. But when it comes to roadblocks, it's not just about a person sitting there and saying, oh, yes, yes, I'd like to court you or marry you, or you both got to work at it. But when one person sits there and says, yeah, you're attractive, you're the most beautiful girl in Washington State, girl turns around and says, oh, thank you, and you give them your phone number, for example, and then you ask him 6 months later, yeah, you got my number. Oh, I lost it. And then you hear your best friend, it's worth a wasted cause, a useless cause, water under the bridge, just keep moving. Then you wonder, is it because you're transgender? Yes. But is it your fault? No. Then you got Aaron who's, people always look at him, well, you're plumpy, you got bigger breasts than me, you have a beard, and I mean, a lot of them look at him and they've told me outright. I go up to the store sometimes and I'm like, yeah, Aaron thinks you're cute. Oh, I think he's an interesting guy, but truth of the matter is he's got a service dog and it's not really a service dog, and we're not allowed to ask him if he is. If we did, we'd make sure he was certified. But anyways, he's fat, he smells, and he's got a service dog, and we think he's abusing the system. Most girls tell me that. One time Aaron and I were arguing, and Aaron always has a few excuses here and there, like tonight, the dishes. He says, oh yeah, the dishes. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. What he forgot to say was, he was running out, as I said in my blog. He forgot to empty the strainers, so the dishes were washed up. I washed up all the dishes now, so the strainer's all full. He'll do it in the morning. But anyways, I talked to him tonight about it, and no problem. But I asked him a couple questions. Again, same thing, and so I mean, like. So there is roadblocks and there's excuses, and sometimes the excuses are the roadblocks, but you can't blame someone. I mean, sometimes family also sticks roadblocks in there, like, like my sister. She puts roadblocks up all the time. Like, I mean, I love one of my sisters. I got a Christmas gift coming, and it's just got to be delivered. I'm still waiting for confirmation to ship out. You know, they're still on vacation from an Amazon marketplace. And I said, oh, yeah, yours is coming shortly. My sister said, oh, don't worry, my car broke down, so I can't ship you your present yet. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You know, no problem. It could be an excuse, could be a roadblock, could be a flaky thing to do. No money. It doesn't matter. Then you got then you got someone else, you know, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, you know, I didn't get enough presents for one person. I should do that next month. Like Aaron feels. Well, it's all cool. You know, the girl's unique, by the way. Then, you know, you have other family members out here around, you know, like I have friends here at work at the grocery store, and they're very nice. One just left recently, and she always talks about how she's got to ask her brother, and another girl says she's got to ask her sister, and some have to ask their parents. It's like, you're over 18, you're an adult, you can do what you wish. You don't have to sit there and say, oh, I have to ask, you know, but maybe they're Catholic or they're Muslim or they're Hindu, and they got to ask what to do. A transsexual wants to date them. I mean, who knows? Another excuse that I get all the time is, you know, when I go fishing, I pay my buddy money for gas, and I'm like, ready? He goes, oh, well, you were sleeping, you know, and it was on the door. You didn't come up here. I asked Aaron, oh, he wanted our freezer, so we went in, I put the fish in there. I'm like, so you guys want, well, I said, I want my money back. Next morning, he's sitting there, we're going to go 2 days in a row. He does, but, you know, first day, it's an excuse. Oh, well, you know, one time he said, oh, my grandkids don't want you around. They give me my money back. Next day, we went fishing. You know, the thing is, I asked his grandkids. His grandkid says, no, you're cool. We don't know what the problem is with him. And then a few times that we get angry and he thinks we make roadblocks is, for example, we got a new tackle box and we're buying everything in the bulk this year. And he's like, oh, great. If I run out, I'll just look for your box. I'm sorry, sir. If you don't have enough tackle, I ain't donating because, frankly, it's expensive. And I ain't having you open up my little box with all the little pull-out containers and be like, oh, yes, I need a spoon. Oh, yes, I need a MEPS. Those things are $4 a piece. I ain't going to give you a swivel or a lure just so you can go fishing for a trout. No, if you can't do it, go. And then, you know, he gives bad advice. And last year I did pretty good, but this coming year I'm going to do better in the fishing realm, you know. And so it was, you know, roadblocks. He was putting roadblocks up. He didn't want me to do better. He's like, oh, yes, we Mexicans are better fishermen. That's fine. And then, you know, we have excuses. But this year, I mean, I was thinking of Heather today, and I wanted to ask her, but I didn't get to. I asked her, you know, she was talking about trips, and, you know, I was going to put together a travel package plan for Heather's sister, Angela, to go with me and Aaron to Disneyland, and she's like, oh, there's other places to travel to. Well, I didn't understand what she meant. I still don't. Aaron's like, she's an enigma. She's a puzzle, you know, a puzzle. But anyways, I know the less I love her very much as a family member, no matter what. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, I want to line up a travel, but Aaron's just like, oh, wait, see what happens. So, you know, I was talking about Thailand because she said she needs, both sisters needed, Heather and Angela needed eye surgery. Well, I'm still waiting to see how to bring that up. But I'm not the type that, you know, I'm the type that's direct. I've told this to Heather. I'm the type that's direct, you know. I mean, maybe she thinks I skirted around her question and thought it might be a roadblock or an excuse, but no, it wasn't. What it was a roadblock or excuse. No. What it was a thing saying, yes, am I angry? No. Oh, you can be direct? Yeah, I'm direct. Me and Aaron's happy-go-lucky. I mean, he was playing the Tetris DS, talking about games, you know, and I asked him a question. However, I'm going to be poking Aaron with my joke, as I say, getting him to move on the Game Boy Advance list and the PC list that he's working on, because I'd like to print him out on payday. And, you know, he's like, oh, yeah, no problem. So, on that. So, and we were talking, me and Aaron were talking about the video again of Apparently, I'm having trouble tonight with my email. Apparently, it's not loading proper. Anyways, that's the excuse of Gmail. But anyways, all I was going to say to you guys is, in this email, this was about roadblocks, and me and Aaron, Aaron said he'll do one with me jointly. But the main thing is there's a lot of excuses out there in the world. Some of them good, some of them bad. Mostly you just gotta take the good with the bad, and figure out what to do. And there's always a alternative, So while I'm doing this solo here on Living Simply and Fun, I wanted to get this out of the way before I go and try to play Breath of Fire for a bit. And just say, there's always an excuse, but most likely the excuse is a genuine excuse. Yeah, some people can be pissed off and say, oh, well, they're making it up for not wanting to know someone or ignoring or whatever. I mean, yes. Let's go into details about my sister. I got a hold of one of my sisters that somewhat disowned me, and I was like Christmas Day drunk, and I was doing most of the talking. She was listening. She asked me about how my case went and how this went, and if I found someone. And I says, yeah, I found 2 girls. I think they're twins. They look identical. She's like, you get one. Well, anyways, I told her about the foreign girl that's always close to me. And she's like, no. You go there or you bring them here. Well, you're not around, sis. Well, it doesn't matter. Well, I told her my ideas and what I want. And she said, and we talked about both girls. I was talking about my sister, Heather and Angela, and I basically said, so what's the deal not getting in touch with me? Her answer was, oh, well, the 509 number that you have, that's my area code, it kept coming up. I thought it was a bill collector. I never called but once a month. Oh, well, I think my rich boyfriend, Fred, took care of the bill collector. I just sat there in shock. The excuse was a bill collector. 2 years you haven't talked to me, and all of a sudden, oh, yeah, it was a bill collector. Then I asked her about my nephew, and she says, he's a lost cause, same with your niece. So, she's still trying to find a work. I'm sitting there thinking, we talked about my stepfather and the roadblocks in the past, and about surgeries and everything else. And, I had my own personal roadblocks I put up for surgery and stuff. I'll admit it, but it's not just about roadblocks for excuses. It's also personal excuses. There's a lot of personal excuses out there. Heck, sometimes Aaron can sit there and be like, here's an example. I asked him, Aaron, I'd like some help. Oh, yeah, I can. I said, we don't have much time left for Amazon Prime. I either got to pay the full $79 on my card or cancel it. Or what? Or I'm going to be dinged $55 on top of it to go to Walmart, or Costco, to get my Costco card renewed. And how's that affect me? You need to talk to the neighbor who wants to get her toilet paper in bulk. If we're doing this, we got to go to Olive Garden too. I said I'd rather be taking Angela and Heather with me to Olive Garden because I love Olive Garden. He just looked at me. Yeah, I'll do it today. 3 days, 3 excuses every time. Oh, what? I thought we had time till like the 9th. So finally, I said, get to it. Okay. The excuse, here's an excuse for you, right? I was watching this video that me and Aaron produced here on this channel for laws, and how he was talking about his friend in marijuana laws. Well, pipe tobacco laws are almost the same. Well, he made this excuse up, and I haven't confirmed it yet, and called up the shop directly. He says, oh yeah, you're going there to do a standing order, you're going to go to prison. So one of these days I just got to have the balls, as some would say it. Even women get the gumption to go and do it. And this girl's going to have to call and confirm it, because he says, it's a sting, you can't trust it. Well, the other thing is I contact Seattle Pipe Club, find out what they know about it, because apparently it can be done. He just doesn't want me wasting money going all the way to Yakima or, etc., and it's like, why? And yeah. So, it's like my friend. my friend came out the other day, and she came out, we all chatted, and we all giggled and stuff. And as she was leaving, I said, hey, how come you aren't around much? Oh, I'm married, and it's hard. And I said, did I say something the fall one Christmas when I was drunk? She said, oh, no, you were a sweetheart. You just passed out on the floor. You were giggly funny. I'm like, here, take this wine with you. And Aaron and I looked. I said, Aaron said, don't think that. She's just a busy person. I said, she wanted to talk on Skype to find out if you were going to be around. Otherwise, she didn't want to come by. Last time we talked, we were watching a movie together till she got upset and left after 2 hours. She was kind of pissy that you weren't around. He said, was that the night I was talking to my buddy, the pothead? I said, mm-hmm. He was like, no worries. He apologized to her, but her excuse was, oh, well, I'm married, and no, you were just giggly, fun, drunk. Since then, she doesn't come by much, so I don't know. Aaron said not to worry about it, so I don't. And Aaron calls me paranoid, and sometimes I think, is that your excuse for, something I know? And Aaron's like, no, not really. Because I am kind of paranoid, but at the same time, he uses that excuse for, you're paranoid. Because I'm due for researching for my apartment, and yet the lady's paid all the paperwork, and she hasn't got back to me to sign the final paper piece. She's leaving the management position. There's a new manager coming in 1st of the month, or 1st of January. So while I'm sitting here waiting till January, I'm sitting here with my thumb up my butt, pretty much, as they say, rotating, and he's just like, don't worry about it. Well, tonight his excuse was, play Breath of Fire, read your book. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but, it was an excuse because of that. I mean, I make a few excuses. It was like tonight, I messaged him, and he says, so you're going to shower? I'm like, no, I'll shower a little later, before bed. Well, or in between bedtime, before our next walk. I did. I showered. I got myself clean. He's like, well, what happened? Thing is, I went to bed at 5 in the morning. I got up at 3 in the afternoon. I was that tired. My body has been wore out, getting out 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep. It finally just caught up with me, and I was sleeping. Well, I also had the heater somewhat on, and I also had something else. And the air conditioner out. So when it came to that stuff, it was an interesting motivation, So however, my excuse to him was I might have to leave the air conditioner off, except for 8 hours a day, and trying to conserve the heat as much as possible because my bill was $81.50. That's my electric bill for the month. He's like, could be worse, could be $300-400. So this coming month, I need to calibrate my budget. Again, he's got to help me out because we need to figure out what I'm spending yet. Right now, I don't know because of the Costco. But his excuse was, yeah. And then he makes excuses, small excuses or white lies about certain things. Like, oh, yes, we'll do it. And he never does. Or, oh, I did. They didn't have anything. So I have to go by the second-hand store. There was the other day, they had this dress. It was perfect. I went in there to look at it, and it was a great price, so I told them I was going to buy it. Got back, it was gone. But anyways, it was perfect size for either Angela or Heather. Again, perfect. Hold on a second while I get my coffee. See, it didn't take too long. Cleaned out one of my tooth holes that was bothering me. I have a hole in one I gotta get fixed shortly. But anyways, let me get back to this deal. So, while we're here at Living Simply and Fun, it's not just talking about issues like the electric bill and stuff. But anyways, here's another advice. Neighbor of mine, who's down the street, we gave him prime rib for Christmas and stuff like that. We had to get the TV home, and he had a pickup truck. Well, we also offered him lunch that day at Burger King. He went and did it, no problem. But guess what? We asked him time and time again if he could get us out to, and we're friends with him, and we told him he could use it when we're done. We need to rent a shampooer for the carpets, and we were going to buy the heavy-duty chemicals. We have the chemicals, we don't have the shampooer. Excuse was, well, you know, more excuse after another. Well, you know, he didn't know how to contact us. Yes, you do. Just walk over to our place. Well, and one neighbor's like, oh, if you can. Yeah, thing is, in 24 hours, he'd be procrastinating, and I have to pay another $20. No. See, my neighbor wanted it first. I said, no, you get it last because of the whole rental thing. And now I want it back. If I have to pay an additional, he's paying for it. He's like, oh, no. So he never asked again. My neighbor downstairs, the one we give the internet to, he's always making some excuse up for fishing or this or that. I mean, you know, but there's also true reasons and then not true reasons. Some people can call up and off work and say they're sick, but the bottom line is when it comes to these people, you gotta really realize that everyone has their own roadblocks. For example, you could say, oh, well, I want surgery, but I'm afraid I can't do it because I can't go to Thailand without someone traveling with me. Because I want someone to travel with me. Well, I could sit there and say, you two girls, you're coming with me to Thailand. You'll get some surgeries too. They could say yes or no. Or I could turn around and say, well, I want to go to Disneyland. You can come with me. Again, you know, it just depends on what you're looking for, you know. I mean, look at a video I watched tonight that was boring as hell. Aaron was like, you know, Aaron's opinion was, and this is his opinion, was it sucked. And I agreed with him, but there's nothing we can do about it. So, but anyways, all I was going to say is, there's true roadblocks and artificial roadblocks. The artificial ones is where you want to tell someone something to sugarcoat it so you don't hurt their feelings. And it's like, oh, well, we'll get together soon. I mean, it's like a friend of ours, the same person I gave the wine to. The other day, we took her to the park, or she met us there. We had steaks. We had 4 steaks. One for me, one for Aaron, one for her, and one for her husband. She said, oh, he had a headache. He ate before he knew. That was an excuse. He didn't want to know us. He's one of these guys that's like, oh, I don't want to know them. They don't speak Spanish. So she had to come in his place. Well, she was hoping I'd give the second steak. Well, he didn't come. I said, it's mine. It's my dinner. She's like, okay, you bought it, no problem. But she had a full dinner. She ate what she could, took the rest home. She messaged me the next day and said, thanks for the steak. It was great. My husband was pissed he didn't get his to go. And I said, sorry. My excuse is simple. He didn't come to dinner and he gets no steak. Yep. So anyways, the bottom line is there's true excuses and false excuses. You can make an excuse for someone like he didn't come, he don't get his steak. You get to keep it because you paid for it. There's other excuses. Like my former apartment manager made excuses and made up crap about me and tried to get it stuck. Well, 7 months later, when she tried to make up crap about another tenant, they had surveillance cameras put into the building. Guess what? She got fired. Whose excuse was it? Hers. Did they believe her? No. Cameras don't lie. See, each one, where there's an action, there's a reaction. So you just got to remember, when it comes to roadblocks, sometimes you're putting roadblocks up when you don't need to. I mean, there's a person I was talking about recently who wanted me to marry them. No, it's not Angela. For some of you out there, it's like, oh, it's got to be Angela or Heather. Girl asked me to marry her. I said, no, I can't. I want to try to make things work with Angela. Well, then she turned around and got pissy with me and blamed me for using Angela as a roadblock. Or another one that I knew over the years who was a scammer. Until recently, I thought she was nice. We were talking about things before she got mad and removed me on Facebook. Was when it came to not scamming but courtship. And this was when Angela disappeared. Anyways, when it came to that, she got angry. And she's like, well, I have to talk to my sisters, the Filipino sisters, you know, her sisterhood or whatever. And it's like, why? You got a mind? Use it. Well, she did. She removed and blocked me because she thought it was wrong for me, you know, to say that. And every time I tried doing this or that, there was a roadblock. It was like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't meet you in Thailand, I can't meet you in Singapore. Oh, I can't meet you, you're getting breast implants. I mean, it was just like one thing after another, you know. I mean, heck, I met a girl 5 years ago that committed suicide. She didn't want to meet me because, well, she had to have permission from her mom. Well, her mom, she was disabled, and she said, oh, I have to have permission from my family to leave. Oh, I have to have this. Well, one day I said, keep asking, it's not going to do any good, it's going to hurt you. Well, there's more roadblock. Well, she committed suicide. So a lot of my friends either don't like me and make up excuses, or they like me and they just want to stay friends, you know. I mean, sometimes people say, oh, they're talking about me or they're talking about this. Well, the other day I was talking about Aaron, and Aaron was putting up roadblocks on certain things that made me angry. Well, I had to sit back and think about it. Well, I have my own reasons for my roadblocks. We talked about it, he says, makes sense. Well, he's like, what about the roadblocks that you want to court someone? And I said, Aaron, remember the pipe tobacco thing? He says, yeah. Remember how I said I'm not going to break the law, I'll find an alternative route to get my tobacco? Yeah. If and when any girls that want to court me, want to come to me, whether it be Angela, Heather, my Filipino friends, girls, cosplayers, etc. I mean, I have tons online friends. Facebook's almost 1,500 friends. If any of them want to court me and they don't have the finances to come out and visit me, I either will come to them, which they better be visiting me in the main city in a hotel, or B, they come to me. They can have my bedroom. They don't get to have my clothes, but they can have my bedroom. He says, oh, those cute girl clothes? I said, yes. What if they want to wear them? Then we'll have to have words about it. He's like smiling, you know. So there's always an alternative. There's always a walk around. So on that aspect. So, you know. Anyways, I just wanted to touch base with you on those. I have a lot of things on my mind. It's almost 30 minutes into this video. It's going to be a long upload, so I'm going to have to go between Breath of Fire and my thing. But just remember, there's always reasons why there's a roadblock, whether it's personal, artificial, or you don't want to hurt someone. So instead of saying, oh, I'm not interested in dating you, you bring up a roadblock and say, oh, I forgot your number, or oh, and then you give it again, and 6 months later, you know, you're waiting for them to call, no answer. One girl I knew, she wanted to court me. So this was like 6 years ago. I gave her Christmas presents and everything here in town. She was a lesbian. The other day, she saw me at Walmart. She says, so are you still single? And I said, no, I'm courting someone from Kentucky, or trying to. Well, Aaron made a joke, 2 people. Well, she looked worse for wear. She says, I got HIV. I fled back down to my girl. She was a lesbian. She didn't mind tranny because she wasn't HIV positive then, and she was not fit, skin and bones. And she said I could have had a kid and been happy, but no, I decided to listen to her, and well, now I have HIV, she said. And I said, oh, so sad. She said, just make sure you're courting someone that you're happy with them. But it was sad. She basically, after Christmas, 4 days after Christmas, not even New Year's, she went down to California, quit her job at Subway, just went down south. She said, I still have the game systems you gave me, but every time I try to hook them up, I think of you. I said, just think of me as a nice minister. She said, you are. She says, I don't know why I threw it away. I said, I've thrown away opportunities many before. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, there was one time this girl was drunk. She threw herself at me. My mom liked her. She was the bakery lady. She was like 5 to 7 years older than me. She had 2 kids, one in the Marine Corps. And I said, man, She had a nice body and everything, but I said, no, I'm a minister, I can't. She says, why not? Because she told me she couldn't get pregnant and she, you know, etc. And I said, I'm not taking advantage of you anyways, but still, you know, if I wanted someone, I'd want someone who was having a kid, if possible. Well, this woman here, well, went down south and then stuff happened in Oregon, I think, and then came back. Now she's ignoring me on Facebook, thinking I'm bad and evil for not trying to save her. We even offered her prime rib many times. Beautiful girl, by the way. Beautiful. My uncle was pissed that I didn't sleep with her, but it's like, I'm still a virgin, and I'm trying to save my virginity for the woman I'm going to be with. So, you know, I do, I mean, I will chase a girl, you know, if I find them attractive and I think they're my type. I mean, heck, the other day I asked, for example, you know, Aaron's always making joke, well, Heather and Angela are more my type. Well, I always reverse it now. Well, Heather could be my type too, you know. You don't know that. Well, one day, Aaron asked me to ask Heather's sister, Angela, some questions about what her type was. Well, there's this one guy. She said, oh, he came out visit and blah, blah, blah. And Aaron's like rolling his eyes in the back. I said, and she likes younger guys. Well, Aaron's 36. I'm 35. So I said, guess we're out. And Aaron's just like, Well, the thing is, you know, Aaron thought, you know, it might be, I don't know, just, it was funny to him. But I said, just put it out of your mind. Well, you know, like the video we did about New Year's resolutions tonight, we talked about resolutions, and I made imitations of Moppy, you know, about getting rid of video games. That's his, it's one of three things that keeps him sane, pretty much. If he didn't have his Moppy, his video games, his music, his movies, or anime, he'd lose his marbles so much, I think he'd be in a mental hospital. You know. However, I think he overdid my food today. Not overdid it as cooked it, but made too much of it. I said I wanted 2 fish sticks instead of 6, or fish fillets. And I wanted a quarter of the mac and cheese. I said, you eat some, and you, instead of eating rice, and what you do, mac and cheese, rice-a-roni for himself, and then fish for me and fish for him. And I said, just could have taken some out of my fish supplies, or frozen. Here's Ziploc bag. I didn't want to waste it. Well, he ate 6 pieces of his fish fillet, and 3 pieces of mine. And I said, I'll just get some more. And he's like, you sure? And I said, you should have ate the mac and cheese and saved the other. Well, I thought you eat it all. My stomach is shrinking. Well, that's a roadblock. No, it ain't. And then he says, you ate the cheese before dinner. And I said, that's true. So the cheese had part of it. Well, afterwards, like 3 hours after dinner, we were watching a movie, and I was a little hungry. So I said, I would make some cheese. Well, it turns out I got sick off of the cheese because it was moldy. The new block round. But guess what? He said it's the factory's fault where the cheese is, or it could be the delivery person. I'm just like, I'm not arguing. I'll just pay the $32 or $33 a month, and that'll be that. And I'll pay off his present as soon as possible. So, you know. But yes, I just wanted to share with you all. There is excuses out there. There's good excuses, and there's bad excuses. There's good roadblocks and bad roadblocks. I mean, yeah. And, we all have our own roadblocks. I got to do a personal video later about roadblocks and what roadblocks I put up for myself. But this is about for the rest of you out there that got this far. Just remember, there's always roadblocks for everyone. Whether it be for security reasons, whether it be personal, whether you don't want to hurt their feelings or whatever. They're all there. Now, Aaron, when he did the video, I said to him tonight, he's still up playing Gran Turismo. I said, hey, I think the reason, you know, because Heather said she wanted to do a video reply with Angela in the picture. I don't know if her mom would be there, about the video. Well, the do's and don'ts of friendship. Well, Aaron got into details of her roadblocks, and I said, you know, there's a couple people I know that's always putting roadblocks up, saying, oh, you got to talk to your this sister or that sister or this or that. And, you know, it wasn't addressed to them if they think that. Me and Aaron, we always not like to talk and slander. We're always talking about this or that. Now, Heather could say, oh, well, it's about us, or it could be, we're, you know, her post, she made a comment on her Facebook wall about can't trust something about truth, wise people lying, yada yada yada. You can't trust the people that you trust. Well, thing is if the lie hurt you, then you got to reevaluate things, because if they just physically hurt you, that's different. But if they told a white lie or something, or they told a white lie, so, there's people out there that you could sit there and say, oh, such and such is angry, and all of a sudden the excuse is, oh, you're angry with me, just come out and say it. Well, what if a person's not angry? Then you make yourself a butt, then you got an excuse. And then, for some, I know a couple people, one being a Filipino that does care for me deeply. She's always angry when I drink. She's like, bad Rita, bad Rita. Well, story about that is sometimes she tries to tell me I need to listen to her more. And then I go and get drunk, and then I feel like crap. And like the one morning, she said, how much did you drink? Almost 3 bottles. What happened? Well, I woke up out in my bed wondering how I got there with my dress still on me. So I took off my dress, passed out for another 2 hours, had my bra on. Woke up, took my bra off, passed out for another hour. Got up, and there was the stockings and panties on me, so I pulled the stockings off. Went to the bathroom after I had just nothing on me except my underwear. Out goes 6 or 7 heaves. Right into the toilet. She said, did you learn your lesson? Yeah. I can't handle liquor anymore or wine. Now, I crave bourbon at times, but I don't want it. And Aaron's like, oh, amen to that one. But the bottom line is there's good excuses and bad excuses. And like I said, we're not addressing this to no one person. We've had people that basically went and told Aaron to add them on Facebook. And as soon as they added them, the woman went into block mode. Literally blocked them. Now Aaron could say, oh, well, I've messaged this person or that person in email or Facebook or Yahoo Messenger and they're ignoring me. Sometimes Aaron can be boring. Sometimes Aaron can be very long. And sometimes Aaron doesn't need a reply. Because frankly, what's there to reply to? I mean, heck. He asked me the other day, do you have anyone that hasn't messaged you on Facebook or Skype or stuff? I said, yes, many people. Like the other day, I had like some Filipinos that were trying to scam me. I got on Skype. They never messaged me back. Why? Then when they did message me 4 days later, like, Merry Christmas, we need some money, we're hungry. And then I turn around and say, well, you weren't around at Christmas time, so the hell with it. Off I go, block them. Continue down the line, or they message, oh, well, we were giving you some time to get the money together or something. I didn't say I was going to give you any money. Besides that, I spent a lot of money on 2 twin girls. There's an excuse. 2 twins. So, bottom line is, you just got to look at it from everyone's perspective, whether they're doing it for protecting themselves, protecting another person, or, Aaron was talking about mind games and stuff. His excuse is that some people like playing mind games, or they're playing the entertainment game. His excuse is the entertainment game is a game that's played where one party or 2 parties or even 3 parties work together and they work for a cause. Like, they're bored, so they'll talk to a person, but once they're on board, they'll go and do their thing for a week and ignore the person, say on Facebook, Magic Jack, their cell phone. Then they'll get back one day and say, oh yes, I'm getting back to you, But you know what? I've learned that you don't need to worry about it. They'll get to you when they get to you. Who gives a damn? That's my motto, You message them, say 3 or 4 times afterwards, thinking afterthoughts, and then you send it and say, for example, one of my Facebook friends, it could take them 2 weeks to get back because they're using an internet cafe. But you said, oh, well, Or you can send 3 emails out to the Philippines to one girl that wants you to talk to her periodically on the phone. Guess what? Same thing happens. They're on an internet cafe. So you can sit there on your computer and be click, 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 and all of a sudden, an email comes in, and you're like, oh, 3 weeks late. That's cool. I mean, look at me and one guy. He said to me, his excuse was, oh, our internet stuff is only online. We don't have a printed catalog anymore. So I went online, looked it up, and said, okay, I'll hook me up with this one. Deal. All done. So with that said, just remember, all excuses or roadblocks are either put up for your safety, my safety, for being afraid, or for some other reason. Yeah, for some other reason. So when people say, oh, they're making this excuse up all the time, maybe they need to break down the excuse. Maybe the person that's making the excuse has to sit down and give a reason why. Anyways, this is my solo video. Sorry it's 40 minutes long. Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments in the box if you like. And please add me as a friend if you like. Thank you, and have a nice day.